Welcome back to War Thunder, comrade. Lay aside your bottle of vodka and enjoy this beautiful tank, the pride of Soviet Army. And you know, today we have to clean the front line from people that are too late for frontline fighting. He's too late, he deserved it. We, the proud NKVD, we do our job.
And Napalm, that's dangerous. This is a German tank.
Yes, we captured it. It is called TV. Or D5, if you insist.
No, this is an American.
No, this is not American tank. Look, they are not shooting us. We are a German captured tank. And look at these dissidents. They are just not fast to breach through German front line. We have to clean it. And they are just not fast enough. They are fleeing from the fight. Look, another one. Oh, a shame it had to be a great IS-2 tank. But we have to send a message to all the cowards that run away from the front line. Look, they're just running away.
This is an American fake tank.
Ah, it's not all Trump. Oh look, another one. Too late for frontline fight.
Hey, you're not a Russian tank.
Yes, I am, comrade. You're too late for frontline.
Ow. Must be Russian bias, I swear to you. Sorry about this, but I just had to make this intro. So, welcome aboard the Panther M10, or the Ersatz Panther, or Ersatz M10 rather. And I really like this vehicle. However, it's not a ruffle stomp that, for example, the KV 220 is. It's your average Panther that you get for the Germans at battle rating 5.7 for the first time, without APCR, 50 horsepower more, however also 20 degrees of turret rotation speed, which is over 3 times as much as you get at the Panther T at the same battle rating. And you just can play it so much more aggressive and get away with it. Now it still has a terrible reverse gear, the turret front is still very weak, the side is very weak, the cannon is good in an up tier. If you are top tier. If you're up tiered, you struggle against certain tanks, as we'll just see in a moment. However, I still like the tank, and Gaijin has done it again. You know, it's a tank that just performs better, is a reward vehicle. Not a lot of people will have it, yet it is desirable, and I somewhat recommend it because it just plays differently. Most of the time, if you don't bounce off the lower plate of FV4 202. I have no idea why he doesn't shoot. He might be damaged. The next shell just takes out his driver, so this is the weak burst charge of the German 75mm. And you just have to directly hit ammo racks, so this kind of APHE is not the strongest in the game. In most cases it does the job if you centrally penetrate your enemy. Yeah, again, how does it play? Because of the 50 horsepower more and better turret traverse speed. Well, kind of similar to a Panther, but you do not have as many drawbacks as a normal Panther D. So while the Panther D exchanges the place with the Tiger in terms of heavy tank, the Ersatz M10, or you know, the Panther M10, whatever you want to call it, is kind of a true medium in this case. It really is a bit more maneuverable, but it still has some decent armor, especially at long ranges. It is exceptionally good. However, the next battle that I want to show you is a city fight on Cologne, or Advanced to the Rhine. And yeah, this is one of the strongest matches that I had so far. I enjoyed my time so far with the M10. I can recommend it. It's a bit more than just a collector's item, unlike the NC900, which is an absolute disappointment. I tried it, it's just so bad to control. It just rolls wildly around uncontrollably. You don't get guns on targets, and then you just get a crit. And yeah, the only planes that you kind of fight against are Germans, and yeah, then you're kind of equal. but then a BF-109 just shows you what maneuverability is. And if a BF-109 shows you what maneuverability is, that means you're sitting in a goddamn fucking wolf, which is so horribly bad. I see the tank to my left, but I couldn't be bothered. I want to really go into the fight really early on, and I flanked the entire enemy team by going through the middle. Yeah, this is one of those maps that is kind of weird with the 3 capture zones that is aligned in a triangle. However, you know me by now where I want to go, and this tank with flanking is kind of decent. Before the enemy can really react, you can swing the turret around and point the gun on target. You can somewhat fire on the move, and then the reload is uncomfortably long. Lots of enemies can turn their turrets around in time to shoot you, even if you are on their side, like 90 degrees, and you do not make the killing blow. But most of the time, if you carefully aim for the crew compartment, the APHE shell will do the damage. And we have some really nice penetration here on this German 75mm Kampfwagenkanone 42, where you can take up to 82 shots, which is a huge amount of ammunition, and it would like be enough for 5 to 10 battles. And the Panzergranate 39-42 has a muzzle velocity of 935 meters per second, projectile mass 6.8 kilograms, burst charge under 30 grams of TNT equivalent, and 187 millimeters of penetration. That is pretty good for a medium tank with a battle rating of 5.7. So, and that is all that you need to know. And what I try to do right now is to just save this flank here and just allow our medium tanks to further advance. And as usual, there are some jumbos, and yeah, not so strong from the side, aren't they? So this is where I can really damage the enemy really hard. And this is an ace, just like that, quick and dirty. The Panther by itself is not an immobile tank, but it really isn't the greatest knife fighter. It's not a T-34-85 in this respect, but it is somewhat a hybrid between a heavy tank and a medium tank. That is good, that is bad. It just trades off kind of the overall protection of a heavy tank for a bit more mobility, and the top speed is pretty good actually, with 55 kilometers an hour because of your 700 horsepower engine. And you can actually reach that when you go, for example, down on Kursk and challenge the sea capture on the riverside. That is really nice indeed. I actually went out here out of the capture zone to allow this this German tank to capture with me, and also I showed you the abysmal reverse gear of just -4 kilometers an hour. That is bad, but then those shots are just priceless against an M4A3, and he bounced. So that was a lucky shot for my 6th kill. And off we go. And you can see on the hard terrain, it actually moves quite well. But it's really on muddy terrain where the tank slows down, and that is not nice. On normal medium terrain, you actually are not that much faster or slower than your average medium tank. For example, M4 Sherman, which are limited with their top speed. And also some of the French tanks are around about this battle rating. Especially stock tanks are around about your speed. You're not a speed demon, but your gun and your protection at long range is quite useful. So yeah, that means you are somewhat of a sniper, and that is really nice. And now I want to show you also a little bit of Maginot Line, because this map is really rare these days. I went around the ridge line on the 8 line, so I got here undetected. And boys, this is how you flank a Hellcat. Now the fuse sensitivity is just 25 millimeters, or is 25 millimeters on the 75mm shell. But you know, if you directly hit the ammo rack and also aim a little bit for the gunner, you can really cripple him and then finish him with the second shot. But gladly we hit the ammunition, so it was not necessary. Sniping in the Panther is something that is kind of a lost art, I think, and so I want to train it again. And there is some British tank here. It looks either like an FV4-202 Carnarvon or a Centurion Mark III. Let's adjust the aim, fire again. Interesting. It was a Centurion Mark I. Okay. This is how I recognize tanks at long range, you know, professional killing machine that I am. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. The second shot at range killed him from the side. And this is something that I absolutely love. To move around, to go for the tactical movements, to predict where the enemy is going, to intercept him. We saw that something is capturing A. I shoot it in the turret and it's something British. And yeah, I shoot too soon before he even could replace the gunner, and so I just damaged the horizontal turret drive. And the third shot goes then into the crew compartment a bit lower. It kills the driver and we have our third kill, which is nice. So that was a Cromwell. So much for British mobility, and we move on. Now I want to go for the road. Why the road? Well, you move quite significantly faster on it, especially on the long run, and my ultimate goal would have been B. Now, little spoiler, it didn't go up until there. I see here some movement on the ridgeline, but I'm not in a very good position, and I see a tank in front of me that I kind of expected. It was an M6A1 that kind of also sniped early on. So this is now really nice. We flanked Hellcats, we defended our capture zone, let some of our tanks capture it, and now again a bit of a long range shooting. However, this shot is now a bit too far aimed. Why? Well, because I remembered how far I was shooting before that, but the aim was a bit off. And it's still way too far away, or I overshoot the target. Now I correct my aim, adjust the target distance, and we one-shot a Sherman Firefly. Yeah, that's an ace, just like that. So that was now really nice. And I move on. And we'll see how it goes. So I don't have a good look in front of me, and this is the moment where I check the team list and the Hellcat just shoots me somewhere and I kill him on the move for my 6th kill. So, and with that I actually want to end the video. Later on I get flanked by another Hellcat and get killed, and we all know how it feels in our Panthers. The Ersatz M10, a nice tank, and it's a bit more than just a collector's item because of the good turret reverse and the bit more horsepower. It actually acts a little bit like a medium tank, and I really like that. It's not an absolute killer tank, but that really doesn't matter. So, and with this bad shot that actually doesn't set the enemy on fire and he escapes, I want to end the video. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the battlefields of War Thunder.